Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our March 2020 Discmemberment. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And we've listened to the listeners. We tweaked a couple of things. We're gonna switch back and forth this time, and we've added my guests back into the fold.
That's right. So I'm very much looking forward to your guests for this one, Brian.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny one. I saw the name of it, and that's all I saw. And of course, I got a chuckle, but we'll get to that why later because. As you know, if you're a longtime listener to the show, you'll probably laugh as well when you hear the name of the title. Should have been Tim's guess, really, but...
Yeah. Pretty good month. We got 5 weeks in the month this year. So we had, but not too terribly more releases than what we had in February.
Yeah, it's evened out.
Yeah, it kind of evened out. So I think we had something around 25-ish, maybe a little more. Not too bad, but... there's a mix of really, really, really good stuff in here and some maybe not so great stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it all to you right now, so let's check it out. We're going to start off with March 3rd, and we have 3 releases this week. First one up is Veronica by Cleopatra Publishing. This is from 2019. Glenn Danzig's directorial debut is a horror anthology that compiles stories from Danzig's line of comic books of the same name. Stories which focus on horror content that's often sexual and violent in nature, usually featuring scantily clad female protagonists. Sounds like my kind of comic.
Yeah.
This one was definitely a very low-budget trailer, and I really struggled to get a sense of what this was actually about from the trailer, although there are some scantily clad females and some demonish looking things. I don't know, it looks a little interesting. I'm actually more interested in the comic books than I am the movie, I think.
Yeah, because this movie, it really just based on the trailer too. It's like this. It's almost like a '70s style, but you can tell it's not. Like you can tell it's trying to be a '70s style, yeah. But clearly you're not. You know it's like they didn't bother to either age the visual print, the film print or anything. They just tried to do it 70s as if it was made today. I mean, it definitely, there's this low budgetness to it, which was probably intentional. But yeah, and this is the Danzig, I assume that's like the musician too, right? That's same guy.
Yeah, I used to listen to Danzig back in the day a little bit when I was in my metal phase, which was a very short period of time, but it was there nonetheless.
I had a friend whose last name was Danzig, but he was, as far as I know, he was not related to this one.
Yeah, I like that. The Mother song was my favorite.
Yeah, I actually don't know much of the music, I have to say, but I will.
It's a little dark.
Yeah, I will. The comic does sound interesting though, because when it's in a comic form, I think it's not as bad. Yeah, I don't know. With the whole it seems like with the scantily clad, that overused horror trope that they use, it's like maybe in a comic it's not as like blunt and in your face. We'll have to see. So the next one, this one is again, I don't know what's with these trailers in this particular week, but so far both movies I don't understand what they're about. I really don't. The one thing I did notice, Christina Klebe is in it, which is exciting. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. It's called I Am Fear. It's from Shout Factory, so that's good. It's 2020, and the description is: held captive by terrorists, celebrity reporter Sarah Brown sits in a cell awaiting her filmed beheading. Sarah's captors wish to show the world the true face of terror, but how can they when even they have not seen it yet? So I thought I might have seen like a zombie in this. I don't think that's what it's about. I was really confused by this trailer. But yeah, so you said you have demon stalking terrorists here. Maybe that's what I saw too.
Yeah.
But you don't really truly get that unless they're trying to keep that from you as a big twist.
Yeah, this one looks a little low budget too, but it's like a bump up from the Veronica. So it's like a moderate budget. I don't know. So yeah,
I don't know. I like Christina Klebe, so anything she's in, I'll watch. She was good. She was in that Sleigh Bells movie we need to see.
Oh yeah.
And she was, of course, she played PJ Souls' character in the Halloween remake from Rob Zombie. So she does. She's good horror cred there. So I would see that.
All right. So next up is our final title for March 3rd and our pick of the week.
It's a game. There's only one way out. Win. It's like I'm seeing through their eyes. They've put these in our heads. I think that they're watching.
All right, this one comes from RLJ Entertainment. It's called The Furies from last year, 2019. This one I actually heard a little bit of buzz about, and I really wanted to see it. And the trailer made me want to see it even more. A woman is kidnapped and finds herself an unwilling participant in a deadly game where women are hunted by masked men. So I put on here, horror meets Hunger Games. This looks really cool. It's a bunch of women getting stalked by these killers, but I really like the mask and stuff they use for these killers. Like one was like a pig head guy. One guy looks really like Leatherface. You tell they were definitely inspired by other horror movies. I thought it looked really, really cool.
Yeah, this was good. I watched this for the horror challenge last year, and that was the one that,
right.
that Ken ended up loving too, because I told him to watch that also. This, yeah, and you know, it's funny, like that the horror meets Hunger Games is definitely a good way to describe it. And this actually had one of my picks for in the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards for Best Kill. Which was not, which I won't go tell you what it was, so yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you. But this one, I think it's on Shudder still. If you want to go watch it, this one was awesome. I really, really liked this. I was so glad I watched it. I heard nothing but good things, so I think I needed it for my Shudder, one of the Shudder credits or achievement. Oh no, you know what? No, I think I had claimed that. I think this was just one I was watching towards the end to get the. I think I might have already completed the objectives, and I was just watching the 31 films, 30 days one. But this one, yeah, really, really good. The main actress is awesome in it. The filming style is really good. This one, it's definitely one of my favorites of last year, which I wish would have got a lot more into the Chainsaw Awards. I'm surprised it really didn't get much, which was a shock. When you see it, Tim, you'll see what I mean. You'll notice and wonder why it was absent from there. So
cool, nice. All right, so let's get to our next week, March 10th. This one's a little more active. I think you guys are going to like this week. So let's start it off, Brian, with release number 1 from Shout Factory.
Yeah, so this one is called Bug.
Bug.
Yeah, good name for it. It's from 1975. It's legendary horror writer, producer, director William Castle presents a creeping, crawling film nightmare that will have you screaming and squirming with fright. A massive earth tremor opens up a deep crevasse. According to Kim and Kat, I guess you can have that argument with them. They like to say crevasse. In the California desert, releasing a bizarre, fiery, deadly breed of foot-long cockroaches. Okay, right off the bat, that alone. I don't think even an inch-long cockroach is something I really want to see, so... Yeah, foot-long cockroaches.
What's weird, though, the trailer has nothing but 1-inch cockroaches.
Right. It's like, yeah, that's really it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. But so with their numbers multiplying and the death toll mounting, obsessive entomologist Bradford Dillman, which kind of gets like a highlighted in the trailer, remember? It's like, and the hero, and it's like, has his name, title card. Yeah. So, desperately seeks a way to eliminate the seemingly indestructible critters before they spread clear across the country and beyond. So I guess they're going to go swimming, leave the country.
Yeah.
I mean, they can get to Canada, obviously, I guess, if they're in the U.S. They can get to Canada pretty easily. But, then to get to the other countries, they probably need to travel a little bit.
I don't know. They travel in exhaust pipes, Brian.
That is
that's
true.
Spelled out clearly in the trailer.
That is true. They do say that. It could have gone, maybe it goes into like a boat or something. Yeah. But, and Tim writes, cockroaches will shoot fire from their butts and live in exhaust pipes. And I actually loved this trailer. I said, what a gloriously cheesy but hilarious trailer. And then I asked, and if you look again, you'll see what I mean. Is that the Brady Bunch kitchen at the end of this trailer? You have like to watch it. It looks exactly like it. Like you almost can see Alice coming out and then get like mauled by 1-foot cockroaches. Or not 1 foot. What is it, 1 inch?
Yeah, well, they
no,
say
it is
1 foot. Yeah, they say right. 1 foot, but they're all 1 inch in the trailer. But I really, really love this trailer, too, because it's got that guy that does all the 70s trailers.
Yeah.
Bug. They come from the earth. And he's like that weird, like, monotone, dramatic insects. And it uses, like, every movie trailer cliche from the 70s and stuff. It's great.
And he's probably passed away, I believe. But if you could do me a favor, Tim, somehow, like when I go, if you know, hopefully, obviously, if I go before you, I want you to tell Julie that I want that guy to voice over my funeral service.
Okay.
If they could digitally recreate his voice.
Or if not, I'll just fill in with my
You could fill in. You could do it too. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I think I want that kind of narration at my funeral service. I think that would be appropriate.
Brian, he was pretty awesome.
Yeah, see, now look, doesn't that, like, wouldn't that get you, like, pumped for the rest of the service?
Yeah.
Because most people go into it, sad, of course, but, I want people to leave, like, happy and pumped up after my service.
I like it. I like that idea. Yeah. This one does have a couple special features.
Yeah, it does, with one of our favorite things. It has a new audio commentary with film historian Troy Howarth. And
Good old Troy
theatrical
Howarth.
Trailer. Yeah, so we need to still get that film historian sound effect somehow. We need something.
Somehow. I don't know. We need something like, not a ding, but we need something that signifies a film historian. Like one of those sound bites like Coaster Radio does.
Yeah.
Like how dare you.
Yeah, we need that thing, that device that Amanda and Kev have for their podcast and Mike and EB have for theirs. We need that little device.
If you guys can come up with a way to, or something a film historian would say that would signify, like it's got to be like a second. Can't be longer than that. It's gonna be like a second or two. Just sound bite for a film historian, and we'll play it every time.
Yeah, like a phrase, like a that's rubbish or something. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why they were all British. I mean, we made them all British.
Down.
Yeah,
I don't know. What does film historians say?
I don't know. I don't think it's thumbs down. I don't know if they necessarily review. I think they probably just like find like facts, So maybe something like a discovery sound effect or phrase, like by golly, or something. I don't know.
Or maybe they're like such know-it-alls when you're talking movies with them. They'll go, well, actually.
Yeah. Or of course. Or obviously. Yeah. You know what? We're gonna pose that question out. We should put that on Twitter as a Twitter poll. Yeah. Or not a poll per se, but like they task everybody out there to come up with a good film historian sound effect.
All right. The next one up is we're not going to give a whole lot of descriptions. I might just kind of gloss over this one, Brian.
Yeah.
It's just the Quiet Place 4K Steelbook. It's the same Quiet Place release you've seen before. It's just in a 4K Steelbook version. So we're going to kind of gloss over that one and go right to our next one, which is Luz, not Luz.
I know, which I've been saying forever. I've been calling it Luz.
We kept saying Luz. It's Luz. This is from Altered Innocence from 2018. Luz, a young cab driver, drags herself into the brightly lit entrance of a rundown police station. A demonic entity follows her, determined to finally be close to the woman it loves. And I put here, I don't know what the movie's about, but I learned how to pronounce the name because right at the beginning of the trailer, you hear very briefly, she goes, Luz.
Yeah, and I learned it too. I was like, wouldn't you know? See, there's a perfect time where we could have put the film historian because they probably would have known it was Luz right away.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wouldn't be Civil Gore without us completely butchering a name, so I don't feel too bad about it. We have a reputation to uphold.
No, and in fact, we really haven't spoken much. I think the only time we've mentioned it, though, was when we did the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, because it was up for something. But I think it's still on Shudder now, too, actually. You can watch it now, right? Or is it Shudder or Netflix? Yeah. One of them has it.
Yeah, one of them has it. I think you can definitely watch this one.
Yeah.
This one has a new interview with director Tillman Singer, an international teaser trailer, U.S. theatrical trailer, pull-out poster, and reversible cover art.
That's that has got to be one of the most commonly added, but not really, but like a weirdly advertised feature that either that pull-out posters and also with a combo of that reversible cover art.
I don't get the reversible cover art thing. I really don't. Like, how many people, and this is another question to the community, how many people actually utilize and go, nope, I don't like that cover, and take it out and reverse it and put it back in? Who does that?
Well, as a film historian, I'd like to say sometimes I'm in the mood for the first cover, and sometimes I'm in the mood for an alternate.
I will bet money you guys do not do that. Come on now. You don't do that. It's going in your shelf with the spine out anyway. You're not even going to see the cover.
Well, and I have my Bloody Valentine cover. So did I tell you? So you remember when I bought that special thing? The alternate like slipcase came in its own separate like sealed bag. So like a Ziploc bag. So I don't even need to. I can like actually file it away. I don't even need to put it over like my other one. So that one's just going to go as in my collectible a section. So yeah, I don't think it would change it. Imagine though, I wonder if there's people there that treat it kind of like like a spring cleaning kind of thing. Like, it's March, it's time to reverse the covers. Like people reverse their sheets and blankets. I don't know.
Yeah, that would take you till the end of December to reverse all.
Can you? I know. I'm like, can you imagine? Like all my Blu-rays had that. I'd be going for. Seriously, I'd need it'd be like a weekend long project. I'd be like, oh, it's like I just have to time it, like setting the clock back. Like the daylight saving time. It'll be like, okay, daylight saving times. I'll use this extra hour to get a head start on my reversing all my covers.
All right, so we're skipping over our pick of the week, Brian.
Yes.
And going straight to the next one up.
Okay, so that one is by Gravitas Ventures. I still love saying that.
Yes.
But
you have to say it with gravitas.
Yes, Gravitas Ventures. See, that's like the way
so
the film historian. I know. See, the film historian voice, I think, is going to become a character. I think we're going to make him like that. He's like almost like a kind of like Inspector Clouseau meets like a snobby, like. Yeah. What's that? What was the guy? Remember he was on oh god, he's been in a million things. He was in the Seinfeld. He played the guy that owned the dog. Remember, like that guy that he's in like a million things, and he's like, well, like I take a picture like him, like being a film.
I don't know
historian.
why, because like there's no reason for a film historian to be snobby.
No, they're probably like cool dudes that just hang out and like
they got one of the coolest jobs. But
yeah,
I just feel like he would be. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it kind of conflated with a film critic who we sometimes think is a little snobby.
I think that's what we're doing, and it's unfair to the poor historian.
It's unfair, but we're still going to go with it.
Of course we are, because it's funny and it entertains us. But you know what? I think we owe it to them and to our listeners. I think this year, one goal we have to accomplish is to have someone who has that title, that distinction, a true film historian, come on to be interviewed on the show.
So I think that. What the hell do you actually do?
Yes, I said we need to know because we have a really skewed view of you, and we feel horrible.
All right, if you guys know any film historians, put them in touch with us, please.
Yes, please. Tell them we're not as bad as we sound during this segment. Okay. Anyway, this movie is The Ascent from 2019. It says a widower reluctantly seeks the help of a disgraced priest to save his son, whom he believes is possessed by the devil. So yeah, this is the trailer. Tim and I both agree. This trailer is awesome. This really is. I mean, composed to the other trailers where you don't understand what the heck is going on. You get what's going on in this. It's really cool. Tim kind of has it say it's like kind of like Exorcist meets The Conjuring meets Jacob Ladder, and I could try, but I don't think I could nail a better description of this trailer. That's exactly what this is like, which is not a bad thing because that's 3 fantastic movies. So, this is one I don't think I even heard of, but now I really want to see based off the trailer.
There was a premise in the trailer that there's this camera and it shows what's really there as opposed to what you see. And that was just a creepy premise. And so you see the guy like snapping pictures and then he's like seeing things and they aren't just like ghost faces. There's like weird monstrous shapes and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just really neat. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a weird creature looking thing. Yeah, it's really a well done trailer. Like it really gets your appetite wet to see this. So yeah, we're definitely gonna see that.
All right. So speaking of getting your appetite wet, let's look for this our pick of the week for March 10th.
Somewhere in the depths of space, a horrific nightmare is about to become a reality. Inseminoid, a far from human birth.
All right, this one's coming at us from Shout Factory. This is Inseminoid from 1981. A group of scientists are working in a lab located on a distant planet. One of them, Sandy, is attacked, raped, and impregnated by a monstrous creature. She then begins to stalk her colleagues one by one, killing them and drinking their blood. This was a fun trailer. It's very low budget. Obviously an Alien knockoff.
A little bit of The Thing, too.
A little bit of The Thing. Yeah, I can see that. And Brian has here Is this the birth of Admiral Akbar?
Do you see that the little tease at the end? It looks like a shadowed version of Admiral Akbar.
He looks like a little baby Admiral Akbar. It's really cute. Yeah. Cheesiest spaceship or space station set ever. It's pretty bad. It's very low budget.
It looks like those cardboard ones you would get in like the Star Trek playset. Kind of like, like the wall with it. Just like it looks like it's just like painted on buttons. Like
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
This one actually has some really good special features though.
It does.
A very English exploitation in Seminoid and the Shock Cinema of Norman J. Warren, a 90-minute documentary on the films of Norman J. Warren featuring contributions from Warren and Seminoid star Jennifer Ashley, visual effects artist Jez Harris, screenwriter and critic David McGillivray, author Kim Newman, who is also a film historian.
Oh, yes,
and
she is.
filmmaker Pete Walker.
Or he is. We forgot.
It's a she. It's a she.
It is she, right?
It is a she, yeah.
Okay.
No, we were talking about Kat Ellinger.
That's right, Kat. I'm sorry.
So
Kim
we still don't
Newman.
know who Kim Newman is. That might be
right.
a man or a woman. We haven't.
I got confused. That's right. It was Kat Ellington. That's the one. Yeah.
So now we got to figure out what this one is. New audio interview with Norman J. Warren. Alien Encounter, an interview with actor Trevor Thomas. A Q&A with producer Richard Gordon and Norman J. Warren. A Q&A with Norman J. Warren from the Manchester Festival of Fantastic Films in 2011, and a Q&A with Norman J. Warren at the Manchester Festival of Fantastic Films 2019.
I take it he likes attending that fest.
Really does, yeah. Theatrical trailers, TV spots, still gallery. Yeah, and he's proud of his film. That's a damn rare thing.
Yeah. So wait a minute, though. I do have a comment in there. So you read that person, the David McGillivray, is screenwriter and critic. Did he do his own film? Can you imagine? He's like, well, the effects and performances were subpar. However, the writing was spectacular. I don't know why we're giving it.
Yeah, the Kim Newmans over there going, I totally concur.
I know. Why are we making them all British? Oh,
I don't know.
This is a.
Well, it says a very English exploitation.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so that one's not our fault, actually.
That's not our fault, yeah. But they're still going to all be British.
Yes, of course.
So, all right, so let's move on to March 17th.
Oh,
all right, Brian, you're taking this first one.
I forget. That's right. Shout Factory again. All right. This one is How to Make a Monster from 1958. When Master Monster Maker Pete is sacked by the new bosses of American International Studios, he uses his creations to exact revenge. So Tim noticed, and at first I didn't catch this, then I realized it's right. It says, he said interesting premise, but then it changes from black to white to color halfway through this trailer, and then at the end it advertises it's in color. Yeah. So it's a very odd thing, but I have to say this probably has the best line, one of the best lines in trailer history, and it says, I literally took me like 10 minutes to transcribe this because it's so long.
You have to do it in the
voice
back. Too.
I will.
Okay.
Perhaps one of the. Oh wait, that's me leading it in. Perhaps one of the best lines. Okay, here it is. It says, behind the scenes of Hollywood's wonderland of make-believe, where pretty girls parade in their pulpitude, terror stalks with the stealthy steps of death.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yes, and it's so funny because for a split second when they say the pretty girls, they show like these, like Hollywood starlets, like kind of dancing in like a kick line.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really weird. No special features, but there's something really intriguing about this movie. I think I owe it to see it just because that line gave me such entertainment.
I'm telling you, I'm going to buy all these weird 1950s Shout Factory releases. I've got to.
Yeah,
they just seem so bizarre. I just love it. Yeah. The second one up is from Kino Lorber. This is Cannibal Apocalypse from 1980. And this is literally
sit back on this description.
Yeah, sit back on this one. It starts off in Vietnam. That's how the synopsis starts off. It starts off in Vietnam where Norman Hopper gets bitten. He gets bitter too.
He might have got bitter also. Yeah.
He got bitter after he got bitten. Gets bitten by POW Charlie Bukowski, who has been infected with some sort of cannibal virus. A few decades later in Atlanta, Georgia, Hopper wakes up from a nightmare flashback of what actually happened back in Nam. Hopper then receives a call from Bukowski asking him if he wants to go out for a drink, but Hopper refuses, remembering the incident in Nam. Bukowski has turned into a cannibal and is soon on the run after biting into a woman's neck. He barricades himself in a department store and shoots some folks with a shotgun. The cannibal virus spreads, and soon Hopper joins veterans Bukowski and Tom Thompson, along with some others, to wreak some havoc. So this one starts off with some like 70s porn music, and then there's tons of like gore and sex. It looks like really, really gory, actually.
Yeah.
Lots of like 70s gun fights, which is basically like one guy standing there and just pow, and then the other guy's like bright red blood blooms into his chest or something.
But isn't that a lot of gunfire for a said cannibal film?
Yeah, for a cannibal movie, it's definitely definitely a lot of gunplay.
Yeah.
But so this one, Brian said John Saxon, which I was really surprised to see him in this trailer. And lots of gunfire. Tagline, don't scream, you will not survive.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but okay,
no, I don't understand. Like, wouldn't you scream if you realize you're not going to survive at this point?
I guess they're like, don't waste your breath kind of thing. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
This actually is a kind of a cool disc that has a new 4K restoration of the unrated, uncut version of the film, a new audio commentary by snobby British film historian Tim Lucas. I don't know that for sure. I don't know.
No, hey, actually, Tim Lucas, he sounds like an everyday film historian.
Yeah. Let's go to Tim Lucas, yeah.
Yeah.
He might even be from the South.
He could. He could be your neighbor.
This is a darn good movie.
Yeah.
That's how it's a darn good movie.
He's like Uncle Frank from Home Alone. Oh, Dolgarn. He always says Dolgarn, whatever that means.
Bless this movie's heart, y'all. It had its heart in the right place, but it just wasn't good. I hate to speak bad about a movie, but it just wasn't good.
You made him a critic, you know that.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, he's a historian. This has a Cannibal Apocalypse Redux documentary featuring John Saxon, John Morgan, and for parentheses, Giovanni Lombardo Radici. I guess that's his Italian name. I don't know. And director Antonio Margheriti, which is a very cool name.
See, I was thinking, you know what I think of when I see that? Like, remember in Inglourious Bastards, Margarete. When he's
Margarete.
Margarete. That's how I totally think of that.
Oh, that's probably how he pronounces it.
Maybe, yeah. It is. Yeah, we need Eli Roth to come in and explain that for us.
Oh, yeah. Apocalypse in the Streets, a video tour of filming locations, European theatrical trailer, Japanese teaser, alternate title opening sequence, and reversible cover art.
You know what? I'm gonna reverse all my cover art to the white blank backing and see if anyone notices one day. All my Blu-ray.
Wonder if that's what that is.
I know. Can you imagine? It's
just blank.
Just like I need less stimuli. I'm going to turn all my Blu-rays into a blank slate. Okay.
I put the blank slate because the film should impress itself upon your mind, not dictate what you should think about it.
Exactly. So there you go. I love how we just created like 9 different characters out of one on this show.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're skipping this next one, which is our pick of the week.
Right.
We'll go here. So, this is from Universal Studios, and that's Black Christmas from 2019. And, of course, I mean, everyone knows the tale, but just for anyway, it says a group of students are stalked by a stranger during their Christmas break, a remake of the 1974 horror film Black Christmas. From what I understand, though, I haven't seen it. I wanted to see it. It's not so much a remake as much as, a very loosely based remake, from what I heard. Mm-hmm. I definitely want to check it out, though, even though it did not do well at all. But
no.
I still think, though, if it was different enough, why did you? All you had to do was the Blumhouse tag on it, and it would have gotten a lot of attention. I don't know why they need to use the Black Christmas title. It's already been remade once. It's not going to touch the original no matter what. So just change the name of it.
I think it kind of turned some people off that they even tried to do a remake, because that film is so beloved among horror fans that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I mean, it certainly turned me off to an extent when I saw how different it was. Not that I wasn't going to watch it. I was going to keep an open mind about it, but still, I didn't rush out to go see it in the theater or anything. So
no, and I mean, it's got, and at least I will say the disc has some nice features on it, though. It's got the feature commentary by director Sophia Takal and star Imogen Poots, which is one of my favorite names to say.
Yeah,
it's got an alternate ending, deleted and extended scenes. I guess it's a featurette, You Messed with the Wrong Sisters, and the remaking of a cult classic. Daisy, that's the one. That's a feature I'd like to see because I'd like to see why they decided to make it so different. But I would love to get the answer on why they felt the need to still call it Black Christmas, other than the one similarity of it being like a sorority house. And then there's something called Welcome to Mu Kappa Epsilon, which obviously is the fraternity or sorority in question for the movie.
Yeah,
so.
And I told Brian I'm almost firmly convinced this is going to be a Halloween Horror Nights haunted house this year.
Yes, I agree. I think and I can't wait till we get. From what I heard the early rumor of. I know there's the house that kind of leaked out about the Hollywood one, which we're not as concerned with since that's the one we're going to be attending. But that was The Walking Dead. But a lot of people are saying right around April Fool's Day is when they traditionally release the first house for Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm pretty excited. And one thing it's already I've seen in Universal. I know we're going a little off topic here, but I kind of hope that they don't do Stranger Things again. Because, it's 2 years in a row of this. I know the house is different, or were different, but still, 2 years of the same property in a row like that, especially for the 30th anniversary, it needs to be big, and I think it will be. So I am very excited to hear the first announcement.
What I had heard last year, that Stranger Things house wasn't nearly as good as the year we went, anyway.
Yeah, well, I've heard just last year was overall underwhelming, which was surprising. So I know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Release number 6 this week is Dread Central's Candy Corn from 2019. On Halloween Eve, local outcast Jacob Atkins is carelessly murdered. A vagabond carny named Dr. Death takes matters into his own hands, bringing Jacob back from the dead to creatively seek brutal revenge on his killers. And of course, it's got Tony Todd. I think I saw this one, Brian.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. It's from Dread Central. Oh, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw this one last year, and I'll have to go back and verify, but I'm almost pretty sure I saw it, and I enjoyed it for the most part. It was pretty cool.
I mean, the trailer looks great. I mean, it definitely have a Rob Zombie vibe to it. I think that one guy is in it too from the Rob Zombie movies, and then plus also anything with Tony Todd in it, I will see anyway. But I wanted to see this regardless. This was on my list to watch. I want to say it's on Prime, or it was on Prime. It might still be. I have to look. But we'll just check it out. So I guess we got our pick of the week here now, Tim.
Yeah, go for it.
Which is a good one for Tim and I, of course. We know we like, even though I don't have any of these yet, because of I think I have a feeling they're gonna do like a big mega set of this.
Possibly, yeah.
And it's by Shout Factory. It's Universal Horror Collection Volume 4, 1937 to 46. Okay, here's a pretty long description, but it says, get ready for more thrills and chills. Volume 4 of the Universal Horror Collection includes 4 tales of terror from the archives of Universal Pictures, the true home of classic horror. This collection includes such horror stars as Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Lionel Atwill, and Rondo Hatton. Boris Karloff ignites the screen as an inventor who is kidnapped by a gang of burglars and forced to help them commit robberies in Night Key. Bela Lugosi stars in a creepy tale of strange characters, secret passages, and a murderer who masters the art of mind over matter in Night Monster. In the climax, Karloff is terrifying as the mad doctor whose insane jealousy over a beautiful opera singer may drive him to murder. A giant of a man is used as an instrument of evil by a mad sculptor in House of Horrors. I want to say I've seen House of Horrors before. This one's got a great bunch of features, and that's, I'll go by each one. So, Nike has a 2K master of the film from a fine-grained element, new audio commentary with film historians Tom Weaver and Dr. Robert J. Kiss.
Oh, Dr. Robert J. Kiss.
Yeah, we know who the snooty one is in there.
We sure do, yeah.
And
I got something you can kiss.
It has, and watch, Tom Weaver's probably like, hey, so I really liked the film. It's like,
yeah.
What did you like about it, sir? Please enlighten us, on all of us. But, yeah, so it comes with theatrical trailer, production design, stills, production, artwork, gallery, a still gallery. And Night Monster, that's a brand new 2K master. The film from a fine-grained element. That's this new fine-grained element thing. It says new audio commentary with film historian Gary D. Rhodes. It's another probably like cool dude, probably pulls up in a GMC truck, gets out. And,
he probably just goes by Rhodes.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, they're like, hey, Rhodes is here.
Yeah, Gary Rhodes, but you just call me Rhodes.
Yeah, and he just cracks open a six-pack of beer and sits there and historians.
What are we watching, fellas? Oh, yeah, I know this one. 1946. The year was 1946. Yeah, Bela Lugosi, man. What a cool cat. Let me tell you a few stories. That's
I think
No.
we literally have a film historian like voice for everybody. This is great. Then the next one is The Climax, which is a brand new 2K master, the film from an interpositive. So I guess they had no grains left. It says new audio commentary with film historians Kim Newman and Stephen Jones. They're back.
They're back.
After we've insulted them accidentally. They're still back for more. With the theatrical trailer and still gallery. And finally, the House of Horrors has a new audio comment. This one doesn't have a grain. It doesn't have an interpositive. It's just there.
Yeah.
New audio commentary by film historian Scott Gallinghouse. That's a guy that probably comes in full regalia of whatever a film historian would. You know, can't you say it's like
Gallinghouse.
like I am Lord of the Gallinghouse clan and I am here to historize your film.
My great-great-great-great-grandfather, Thomas Gallinghouse, was also a film historian before they had film.
I love how we gave this guy like this really impressive backstory right off the cuff. That was
You have to with a name like Gallinghouse. You gotta have an impressive
I'm like
backstory.
impressed like by us. I'm sorry. I know you guys are like, all right, you guys move on. But
Now I'm gonna have to
you know
write
what?
down like what all these guys sound like. Or
No,
girls, we don't
Cody, your next intern assignment is here. You need to write a descriptive element of what we've described these characters as, because we know we're going to forget and we're all going to be mixed up next time. And then this is interesting. It says New the Creeper, which is Rondo Hatton at Universal. I guess that's a little documentary on him.
Yeah.
So that's good. I guess without the grains and interpositives, they found time for him to fit in there. So
All right,
that's it for this week.
That's awesome. All right, so let's move on to March 24th. And the first one up is a recent release that bombed at the box office. That is The Grudge from Sony Pictures from the year 2020. Now, I actually was kind of curious about this one because, you know, it's a Sam Raimi production or he produced it. And it kind of had a cool kind of updated vibe to the whole Grudge thing.
That was like a gender swap, right? They did.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
man, after those awful reviews and stuff, I just stayed far, far away from it. Description is: a house is cursed by a vengeful ghost that curses those who enter it with a violent death. And I put it on here: good trailer, bad movie. I mean, I think the trailer does a really good job of selling it.
Yeah. Well, you know what it does? Because it shows a lot of the iconic scenes from the original and the remake with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
So it kind of brings you that. I think it kind of lulls you in with that familiarity. There we go.
Yeah.
And it. You know, so you kind of automatically get drawn in. You're like, oh, yeah, I remember this. I like this about it. And, you know, so the trailer is well done, but obviously, you know, the movie, I guess, I mean, I'm interested in seeing it. I love the original, and the remake was good, but, you know, the only thing is that, you know, it's like, after you see the Japanese original, which I watched for the horror challenge, yeah, I mean, they all look pale in comparison.
That's true.
But,
yeah, no pun intended, because everything in this movie.
Yeah, I know. I just noticed that. See, so funny. Sometimes I just naturally pun that I can't even
you can't even help
turn it off.
This one actually does have some good features. The cast of The Cursed featurette take an inside look at the evil that lurks behind the doors at 44 Rayburn Drive as key creatives and cast members explore the Grudge characters and discuss their experience working with writer-director Nicholas Pesci. Designing death featurette from a slightly paler version of themselves to being completely mangled and rotted to the incredible death scenes like Faith Matheson's epic leap off of the staircase. Explore the character makeup design process and the film's visual look involved in creating the myriad of ghosts caught in the grips of the Grudge. Easter egg haunt featurette. Join writer-director Nicholas Pesci as he brings to light the plethora of hidden Easter eggs throughout the film, which are homages to the previous works in the Ju-on franchise. Extended scenes and alternative ending experiences scenes too disturbing for theaters, like Peter Spencer's terrifying encounter in the attic of 44 Rayburn Drive, or the uncovering of the gruesome truth behind the Landers family deaths.
Do you think Nicholas Pesci gets all crazy like Joe Pesci? I know they have different spelling, but wouldn't it be funny if he does that? He goes, "Hey, you know what's going on here?" You know, like that whole like the Joe Pesci show that like Jim Brewer used to do. Like that'd be great if he did that.
I'm scary now. I'm scary how? Like a ghost?
Yeah.
I'm here to scare you?
What am I scared? Yeah, how am I scary? Wait, you said it. You said it.
All right, moving right along.
Yes.
We're skipping.
we're
We got
skipping.
our pick of the week there.
Yes.
So moving to the next one.
Yes, the next one is Beyond the Door by Arrow releasing, and this is a young married woman becomes the pregnant bearer of the seed of Satan. Rosemary's Baby, anyone? As the evil within her grows, she is subjected to a terrible and demonic metamorphosis. So this is kind of like Rosemary's Baby meets The Exorcist.
Can I say this actually might be my favorite trailer of the entire month? It really was.
It was, yeah, and I know why. Tim, I'm going to even let you read your own little synopsis here.
All right, so
you wrote.
Okay, it's an obvious Exorcist ripoff, and it keeps saying, "Beyond the Door, a film of fear." Like they have to keep reminding us that this movie is scary because the trailer's definitely not giving us that vibe. It's got some really goofy music. It's like this. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And I put it on here. It stars the poor man's Donald Sutherland.
He does, yeah, and he almost has a direct sequence out of what was that movie he did? Was it Don't Look Now, where he like does that weird like look towards the camera and he backs up? Yeah,
I don't know who this guy is, but yeah, he looks like a knockoff Donald Sutherland. Probably not as great an ass, I'm sure, but
it's Ronald Sutherland.
he's like Ronald Northerland or something.
Yeah, Ronald Northerland. Well, whatever his name is, that's what he is now.
So, this is the weirdest trailer. So after you get these shots of this woman acting like Reagan from The Exorcist, so she's doing this whole demonic possession.
It is creepy when she kind of floats across, though. That
was kind of cool. And then they used it sounded like the exact same sounds from The Exorcist. Using that stuff, but
a little more New Yorker though. The voice.
Yeah. So the weird thing about it is this trailer ends with like this montage of the family. And then there's like this weird scene where it looks like the mom's kissing the kid on the lips. And then it ends with this shot of this kid carrying a can of soup walking down the stairs. And for an uncomfortably long period of time, it doesn't make any sense that they're like, why are you focusing on this kid walking down the steps with a can of soup? It wasn't even pea soup. It was just Campbell's.
I was going to say, like, do you think that's like a wink, wink, nod, nod? Like, hey, we don't use soup in this movie.
I don't know. It was really bizarre. Y'all got to go check out this trailer on YouTube. Beyond the Door, 1974. Go check it out. It's a very fascinating trailer.
Yeah, I mean, there was a creepy. They even have the head turn in it, but done from a different way, which I have to say almost looks a little creepier the way they do it in this one, even though it looks much more fake.
Yeah,
like the way because she's like laying face down. She's laying face down, and her head turns through the pillow and around. So I mean, there's definitely some cool stuff in here that makes me kind of want to see it. And also, I feel like I think we kind of need to give a little, support a little bit of Ronald Northerland because he probably doesn't have much of a fan base.
That's probably not. You're probably right. All right, so next up, I had to do this one, Brian, because this oh my god, this brought back so many memories. This is from Shout Factory. This is Frankenstein, the True Story from 1973. A more psychological telling of the Mary Shelley story has a different kind of monster. So I couldn't believe this, but I remembered this movie. This used to come on HBO when I was younger, and I used to watch it all the time. It was one of the very first horror movies I can remember really watching. And it's a updated retelling of the Frankenstein story. There's some scenes in here that just completely freaked me out. There was one where they actually chop an arm off. And they're like passing it around.
Yeah, and they show that in the trailer.
Yeah,
that I watched.
Like, can you give me a hand? I don't know.
Yeah,
and then there's like the Frankenstein monsters, and I don't remember. I think there is a woman. I think you're right. I think this movie like mixes Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein in together.
Yeah, because like the woman like it's like I see her like floating and they kind of like she drowns or something.
That used to freak me out because their bodies are in these vats, sort of like the Bacta tank in Star Wars.
Yeah,
but they're horizontal, and that used to like scare me. Like this whole movie like really really freaked me out when I was younger. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh my god, this is that Frankenstein movie that I've always wondered about, and I never knew that's what it was called, and I didn't know the year was 73, but this used to come on HBO, and I used to watch it all the time. So,
yeah, and I've never seen it, but now I really want to.
I actually want to buy this disc, because that's like a formative horror movie for me from my childhood.
Oh, yeah, no, I think with that backstory to it for you need to watch that. Oh my god, and it's got like a 3 hour and 6 minute version.
Yeah. So I remember this being like almost like a mini series type length. New 2K restoration of the original film elements to the 2-part 3 hour and 6 minute version, including introduction by actor James Mason. A new audio commentary with film historian Sam Irvin.
Yeah.
Well, he's
he's like I picture him as like a Humphrey Bogart, like. Yeah, so I want to tell you about this film here. My name's Sam Irvin, and this one is it's a peach. It's a peach of a
He
film.
never takes a cigar out of his mouth while he's talking about it.
Exactly. That's why I was trying to simulate that by smushing my lip, but you guys can't see that.
Yeah. I got that. Yeah, Sam Irvin. I think you're getting mixed up with Samuel Goldwyn
Probably.
of MGM, but let's keep going. All right. New off with her head, an interview with actress Jane Seymour. I remember her in this, yeah. New Victor story, an interview with actor Leonard Whiting, and new Frankenstein's Diary, a conversation with writer Don Bacardi. Bacardi?
I know, it's not the rum. It's not spelled like the rum, in case you're wondering.
That's a cool name, too. We've already had a margarita, so...
that's right, we got Margarita and Bacardi.
I will tell you, though, I'm really looking forward to this disc, because that movie... you've had those instances where you see something and you go, oh my God, like that. You've never thought about that movie in 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, whatever. And then all of a sudden you see it and it's like just complete flashback. It was just really blew my mind when I saw this.
Yeah, really, I think I might have to buy it just because I need it, for it's part of the Tim Heritage Collection,
Yeah.
So the next one we have before we get to our pick of the week. I said pick of the day. Pick of the week is release number 5, if that's a production company. Sorry, it's from Lionsgate and it's Come to Daddy from 2000.
All I can think of is Ferris Bueller. Come to Daddy.
Oh yeah, come to Daddy. So now I've never heard of this and I don't know why, because after seeing this, I can't believe I haven't heard of this, but. The plot is it's a man in his 30s travels to a remote cabin to reconnect with his estranged father, and it's Elijah Wood plays the son, and he's so weird to see him with a mustache, like a mustachioed
because he still
Elijah
looks like
Wood
he's 15.
I know,
and I'm not saying that to be ugly because I think it's awesome. I love people that look younger than their age. I mean that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, and Elijah Wood, just everything I've heard, I never got to meet him in person, but everyone I've known that has met him, and I just, from seeing him, he's one of the coolest people ever. And so he just looks like he's, just an awesome guy. But in this, they kind of make him creepy, but, I still see through the mustache and see, 12-year-old North, sitting there. But yeah, so this one, it's just the trailer is fantastic, as Tim said. And he says he loves Elijah Wood being Elijah Wood. And I kind of wrote, it's so bizarre yet amazing. And it really is. I really can't tell what on earth is quite going on in here. I just know there's some kind of twist and some murders and God knows what. But this thing, I don't know if it is a disc I'm going to buy per se, but this is definitely a movie I'm going to watch.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this one. And Elijah Wood is a huge horror fan.
Yeah, he has the Shudder podcast, doesn't he?
He's got the Shudder podcast. He's been on Shockwaves at least a couple times, and very entertaining interviews with him when he's been on Shockwaves. So go seek those out if you haven't listened to him. And I just love that he does these weird, quirky little movies and that he loves horror so much, and he's starting to get into producing horror and stuff. So I definitely want to see this one. I'm sure it's gonna be really good. All right, so let's get to our pick of the week for March 24th.
Paramount Pictures cordially invites you for a weekend getaway at the party to end all parties.
This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see.
April Fool.
Welcome to my home and lifestyles of the rich and undeserving.
Yeah, no, and Tim, I know you're going to announce this, but I would say, it's funny. This one would be a no-brainer every week, but I think it just edged out that Frankenstein one. But when you go through it, you'll know why we picked it, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a classic. This is April Fool's Day from 1986, when Muffy St. John, which is just a wonderful name, when Muffy St. John invited her college friends up to her parents' secluded island home for the time of their lives. She just forgot to tell them that it just might be the last time of their lives. As soon as the kids arrive on the island, someone starts trimming the guest list, one murder at a time. And what starts out as a weekend of harmless April Fool's Day pranks turns into a bloody battle for survival. And this is a fantastic trailer. Like I put on here, this trailer was way ahead of its time. Yeah. It's got this dark sense of humor about it, and it's playing Three Dog Night, Mama Told Me Not to Come over the trailer, which is kind of cool. and it just has this, like, you were invited on the guest list of blah blah. It's one of those type trailers.
Yeah,
and just
I
the,
love those.
the sense of humor and everything. Like, it just felt way ahead of its time. I absolutely loved the trailer for this movie. If you haven't seen the trailer, I'm sure you've seen the movie by now. But if you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out on YouTube. It's really, really good.
Yeah, and the movies. Just if you haven't seen the movie, oh my God, where have you been?
Yeah, and I texted Brian. I was actually rewatching it today, and I'd totally forgotten that Biff Tannen, Thomas Wilson himself, was in this movie.
Did you like my reply to you when you said
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I basically told him, I said he was about to get to that discussion with Tom Wilson until that Peltzer boy blocked him.
I know. Well, that makes his inclusion at the HorrorCon even more legit, though. He's not just there for Back to the Future.
Yeah.
For a collector's edition, this one doesn't have as many extras as you might expect from a Shout Factory collector's edition, but it still has some pretty good ones. It's got a new interview with director Fred Walton, a new Well of Lies interview with actress Deborah Goodrich-Royce, new Looking Forward to Dessert, an interview with actor Clayton Rohner, new Bloody Unforgettable, an interview with the composer Charles Bernstein, and new The Eye of Deception, an interview with cinematographer Charles Minsky, theatrical trailer, and TV spots. I hope these interviews are fairly lengthy, because that is a little slim pickings for a collector's edition from Shout Factory.
Yeah, and also there was supposed to be, I know a lot of people were expecting that, there's this rumored of an alternate ending and some deleted scenes, and the fact that none of that was included on here is a little surprising, unless it never actually did exist. It's one of those things that kind of go down into that lore. Yeah,
we also have to have a little bit of a caveat, because and especially with Shout Factory collector's editions, they get some extras thrown on kind of last minute. So, we are kind of putting these out there a month in advance. So things could change. There may be some more additions to what we're telling you. So just check it out before you buy it.
Yeah, they don't always release all the info either.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to our last week, March 31st, the biggest week of the month, with 7 big releases. So, Brian, kick it off with release number 1.
Yes, and it's from RLJ Entertainment again, and this is VFW. It's really W, but you got to say W.
You got to say
W,
in
this one. It's from 2019. This one is a Joe Bagos film, following up from he just did Bliss, which was great. This one just looks epic. It sounds epic. This is the one with like William Sadler, Martin Cove. It's like a whole bunch of VFW vets like fight off thing. But I'll tell you in the description, it says, typical night for a group of war veterans at the local VFW turns into an all-out battle for survival when a teenage girl runs into the bar with a bag of stolen drugs. Suddenly under attack from a gang of punk mutants looking to get back what's theirs at any cost, the vets use every weapon they can to put together. Weapons they can put together to protect the girl and their VFW in the biggest fight of their lives. And just this cast alone, I mean, come on.
And I've heard really good things about this one already.
Yeah, I was going to watch it, actually. I was going to just rent it, but then I realized the Blu-ray's coming out so soon, I'm just going to buy it, because this is one I have to own in my collection. You got to love Martin Cove. And the trailer for this looks fun. I mean, this one's just going to be great. I mean, and there's actually some decent special features on this, and I think it's one of the lower priced movies too. I think it's like $16.99 or something like that. But it's got 2 filmmaker audio commentaries, the making of VFW featurette, meet the cast of VFW featurette, and the special effects makeup of VFW featurette. So, I mean, for a small release, it's actually got some punch on there in terms of special features. 2 commentaries is pretty good.
Yeah, that's going to be that's a definite must-have if that's a good movie. And I've heard really good things, so I have no doubt that it is. So yeah, that's a great one. Next up is Brian's pick of the week. So I'm going to save that one. I think we'll just each do our own pick of the weeks. When we get to the end.
That after.
That's the 1 week that we differed on. So I'm going to go jump to Vinegar Syndrome's Extro 3, Watch the Skies from 1995. Now, Extro is a bit of a cult classic, but apparently they made a couple sequels, at least. And I'd never heard of this one, Extro 3. Marines travel to a deserted island to defuse bombs, only to be terrorized by an alien. This one is super low budget. The alien... I put the aliens look kind of cool. The special effects budget's not there. I mean, I don't say they look cool in terms of like they look realistic. I just think I like the idea of like an alien gray in a horror form was intriguing to me. That's why I said they look kind of cool, because they do like have the typical alien gray look to them, but they're more like scary looking. So I thought it was kind of neat. But this one has Brian just said, why?
Yeah, I'm like,
it's
and I mean,
pretty
there's
bad.
so many whys I have for this. Like, why was this made?
Yeah.
Why did they?
This has a brand new 2K restoration from the original film Negative. Winning and Losing, an interview with director Harry Bromley Davenport.
Oh man, that guy's got future film historian written all over him with that name.
Wow. Acting Like a Writer, an interview with writer-actor Daryl Haney. Original trailer and reversible cover artwork. So if you don't like that extra 3 cover, well, we got another one for you.
Yeah, actually, I looked a little bit into this. The reversible cover is for a different movie, so you're not embarrassed to have purchased Extra 3. I'm so mean today.
Yeah.
A bit saucy tonight, aren't I?
You are,
What's
but
going
it's
on?
got a little sass in your step tonight.
Yeah, long day. Okay, so the next one is another Shout Factory. I'm getting all the Shout Factories tonight, aren't I? This one is Bones. This one, it's from 2001. This is one I always kind of wanted to see, too, by the way. It says, the time is 1979. Jimmy Bones, Snoop Dogg, is respected and loved as a neighborhood protector. When he's betrayed and brutally murdered by a corrupt cop, Lupovich, Michael T. Weiss, Bones' elegant brownstone becomes his tomb. 22 years later, the neighborhood has become a ghetto and his home a Gothic ruin. 4 teens renovate it as an after-hours nightclub, unknowingly releasing Jimmy's tortured spirit. It's thrills and chills as blood spills when Jimmy's ghost sets about its frightful revenge. His killers unaware of the gruesome fate that awaits them. With each new victim, the terror mounts and Bones' vengeance spins out of control, threatening everyone in his path, including his former lover, Pearl, Pam Grier. So, yeah, Tim was very excited because Snoop Dogg was in it, so he said, enough said. Yeah. And this is one I've always seen I think it was on Prime, I think it might have been on Shudder, or it might still be, and I'm always like, I gotta see this someday, I've never watched it.
Well, it was featured in that horror noir documentary as well.
Right, that's
why
right,
I really wanted to see it after seeing it.
Yes, that's why it was so it must have been Shudder, because Shudder released a lot of those movies that you were featured in the documentary on Shudder. So yeah, so this disc has actually got a lot of good stuff on it. It's got a new 4K restoration from the film from the original camera negative. New Building Bones, an interview with director Ernest Dickerson. New Bringing Out the Dead, an interview with co-screenwriter Adam Simon. New Urban Underworld, an interview with director of photography Flavio Labiano. I'm going to say that name has come up for some reason, but I'm not sure. But it says new Blood and Bones, an interview with special makeup artist effects Tony Gardner. Audio commentary with actor Snoop Dogg, Ernest Dickerson, and Adam Simon. That has got to be fun. And then Digging Up Bones, which I assume is a featurette. Urban Gothic, Bones and Its Influences, deleted scenes with optional director's commentary. Dog Named Snoop music video. Theatrical press kit with behind-the-scenes footage. I like when they include things like that. Those are kind of cool. Yeah. Because you get like little cool things that you never ever see unless they presented you in this format. A teaser trailer and theatrical trailer.
Yeah, any other week, this would be pick of the week material. That's a great addition.
That's got a lot of discs.
Yeah.
And just really quickly, when Tim and I it's not always the movie that wins something pick of the week. Sometimes it could just be a really great disc. And since we're both fans of really complete discs and sets throughout, especially when it's some sort of either historical film or just a really good set for any kind of film that just shows so much of it, that could be pick of the week. And that's why this one, I just think it was in the wrong week it would have probably got it.
Yeah, the pick of the week, I always just kind of go with my gut feeling. And sometimes it's just a movie I think would be interesting or historically interesting. Sometimes it's just a value thing of how many extras you're getting. Because I love, like Brian said, I love packed disc. I love getting a $20 disc and having 6 hours of extres on it. I love that.
Yeah.
So and it just all depends. It just looks. And then sometimes I look at it just from a collector's perspective. Like if I'm a horror movie collector, what would I like to have in my collection? Always there, kind of thing. So,
yeah.
which actually this week, this kind of was one of those weeks where I kind of went that route with it. So, yeah, there's different reasons why we pick our pick of the week, but our pick of the week is always honest and from the heart, I think. We're always... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's not just, we need to pick something. Let's pick this. Yeah, there's usually some thought.
Yeah, we do put some thought to it. All right, so next up is Deadline from Vinegar Syndrome, which I watched the wrong trailer for. I thought it was a Brittany Murphy movie.
Which, in fairness, that's all that shows up when you try and search for this trailer. Either the full film of this comes up, or that's it.
Yeah.
And then the trailer for the Brittany Murphy vehicle.
Yeah, and that was one of her last movies, actually, before she died. But this was not that movie. This is 1984, and the synopsis is: a screenwriter begins to lose the ability to distinguish between his fantasies and reality, with disastrous results. As he thinks about what this could mean, his wife and his children begin to worry if he's become insane. So, sounds interesting. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't find the trailer. So until I watch this movie for myself, I can't really talk any more about it.
Yeah, and there's really no special features on it either, so.
No. All right, well, last one. I guess I'm going to go over this one, Brian, because it's your guess movie.
Oh, boy.
This one's from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's called Olivia.
Yes.
From 1983.
So, my guess, it's about a lovely young woman whose husband does a podcast, and he takes just kidding. Oh God, wow, where could I even go with this?
Well, see, I was going to give you a cheat.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to let you look at the cover art. If you promise not to read the synopsis, you can go look at the cover art.
Okay, wait, Olivia, 19.
But I want you to find the right one. I want to.
Well, I'm going to do Olivia 1983. Okay, so I see the thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Google image search, so I can just see that.
Okay, yeah, because I want you to see the one where the woman's straddling a guy with a knife.
Okay, because there's also another one where it says A Taste of Sin. Is this an AKA? Because it says she crossed the thin line between innocence and seduction.
Oh yeah, I think this one's
pulling down her pants.
Yeah, I think this one is an AKA. But I want you to see the one, the poster I'm talking about, where it has
on Letterboxd, right? It's on Letterboxd. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like Madonna is playing the role of Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct on this cover, and it's called Mad Night. It's not even called Olivia in this.
No, that's not the one either. I got you. You got to find the different poster. It's a drawing of a woman literally straddling a guy and about to plunge a knife.
Oh, I got it. I see it. Okay, yeah, it's like a cartoon.
Yeah, and then like he's got nail marks in her legs where he's tried to scratch his way off of her.
Okay, yeah, it says Olivia in Bertlach de Wasnins. Okay, so all right. Well, I see Big Ben in the background.
There's a lot going on in this poster. I love it.
Yeah, and she's also in the moon. Okay, so I think, all right, here's what I think happens. I think the guy that she's trying to kill is a werewolf, and he bit her, and so she's trying to get revenge for turning him into the werewolf because her face is in the moon on this picture, and the Big Ben is in the background, so maybe it's something there.
Okay.
But also it's funny because it's the like whatever that Blutstrats de Wasins, I guess that's the other another AKA title, something with sins in it. Yeah. So.
Well, I tell you, I thought the same thing. I thought this was definitely a werewolf movie based on that poster, but it is not. An American engineer in London who is helping to dismantle the London Bridge.
I got the London part.
Yeah, who's helping to dismantle the London Bridge to be transported to Arizona.
What?
Yeah, strikes up an acquaintance with a young British woman. Several years later, he happens to be at the bridge's new location and sees the woman again, but this time she's a real estate agent, doesn't have a British accent, and doesn't recognize him.
What? You realize, though, in some twisted way, now I have to see this movie.
That doesn't even sound scary. It's like...
No, it just... I want to know where... Like, what kind of premise, did they start off with? They said, okay, so let's think of one of the most famous landmarks in the world, the London Bridge. Where would we transport it to if we could? Arizona. I don't know. Arizona?
And this was A Taste of Sin. That's the poster that comes up on IMDb, and it's a woman taking her clothes off, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Must be. Is this an erotic journey from instead of Milan to Minsk from London to Arizona?
Well, apparently they're definitely marketing to two different audiences.
Yeah.
The one looks like what you used to watch on Skinamax. Those weird late night movies. That's what it looks like. And then the other one looks like a like some kind of Paul Naschy poster or something. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, this has got some kind of like weird, like the like different like variations of each color. Like whoever they decide where this film is playing is what they've done to the poster, apparently.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, well, let's get to our picks of the week. I'm gonna go first with the Ringu collection, 1998 to 2000. This is the original Ring films. It's a set of 4 of them: Ringu 0, Ringu 2, and Spiral. And this one has a brand new 4K restoration of Ringu from the original camera negative, approved by director of photography Junichiro Hayashi. High definition Blu-ray presentations, lossless audio, that kind of stuff. Bonus feature: Spiral, George Aida's 1998 sequel to Ringu. New audio commentary on Ringu by film historian David Kalat. I don't know what he sounds like. David Kalat.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's like our monotone guy. He's like,
yeah.
Yes, I'm David Kalat, and I'm going to talk to you about Ringu. New audio commentary on Ringu 0 by author and critic Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. The Ringu Legacy, a series of new interviews from critics and filmmakers on their memories of the Ringu series and its enduring legacy. A Vicious Circle, a new video interview with author and critic Kat Ellinger on the career of Hideo Nakata. And I guess she's gone to author and critic and film historian now. Circumnavigating Ringu, a new video essay by author and critic Kat Ellinger on the evolution of the Ringu series. We got to get Kat Ellinger on here now that we've tormented this poor woman to death. Spooks, Size, and Videotape. That's pretty good. A new video essay by critic Jasper Sharp on the J horror phenomenon. The Psychology of Fear, a newly edited archival interview with author Koji Suzuki. Archival behind-the-scenes featurette on Ringu 0 deleted scenes, Sadako's video, multiple theatrical trailers for the Ringu series, first pressing only a limited edition 60-page booklet featuring new writing from Violet Luca, Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, Jasper Sharp, Kieran Fisher, and Kat Ellinger, and limited edition packaging featuring original and newly commissioned artwork. That's my pick of the week because I think those are definitely the best of the Ring movies, those original Japanese versions, and that's just a really nice box set with some cool extras.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to why I picked my pick of the week, more of a sentimental pick. I mean, that Ringu, like I said, that's the sentimentality is the only reason why I didn't go with Ringu and I go with mine. But I have a slight update that I must sidetrack us to with that movie Olivia.
Okay.
So I while you were where we were going in there, I quickly went down a rabbit hole and searched it again, and it's got another title called Prazi. Okay. And it's available on Amazon Blu-ray, but there's this whole thing in here where it's like, I guess the guy that did the Boogeyman did this, and they also said this movie is also known as Olivia and also as Double Jeopardy. But it says, regardless of the moniker, this superb slice and dice sickie is one of the most underrated knife play pot boilers ever imagined.
Ooh.
So, and it's like she plays a femme fatale in this. And the funny thing is, in this description, there is not one mention of the London Bridge or Arizona. But it does say, it says, Lummel's most famous freak show, Prazi, is his most outrageous orgy of sex and violence and only 88 films. The label that seeks out foreign splatter flicks and restores them in awesome HD could have understood the need for a new generation to see this crimson-caked gem in all of its high-def delirium.
Oh, wow. So maybe we're definitely underrating this. Seems like a really good one.
And yet, you got to see, it's actually got a really cool box art for this, for the version, and I just closed it, for the version that Amazon is selling. I'm going to send it to you now, Tim, so you could see this, and you can give your live reaction to this, because this is actually one of the coolest box art yet for this. So I just sent this to you, and you can take a look at this one.
Okay.
Where it's got a really interesting, which kind of goes completely more about that description than about what the one we mentioned here.
Okay, so I'm pulling it up now. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So we got a woman that she looks like one of the women in the background of a Double Dragon game or a Street Fighter game that has like
exactly like that in that pose.
But she has but there's a neat skeleton with hair beside her. You know, I'm a big fan of skeletons with hair.
I know.
Yeah, that's a thing with me. So
even though our mascot Parker Decomposey does not have hair, but
I could buy a wig for Parker Decomposey though if we really want to go that route.
I think we might need to.
Yes, that's really cool. Okay, I'm glad that's a one that we
might need to look into this movie now.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have much information on it, but that's neat that we found out that it's actually a really, really good disc. So
yeah.
All right, Brian. So what's your pick of the week?
So my pick of the week, it's a Shout Factory classic, and it's Munster Go Home.
Herman Munster inherits a fortune and a castle full of homicidal relatives.
Hey, neat. What kind of secret do you think it could be?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. Last night, I was looking out my window, and I saw 2 guys carrying coffins into the building.
It's frightfully funny.
Now, I've been a big fan. Growing up, I was a big fan of the Munsters. I loved the Munsters. It's like it was one of those shows that I always watched when it was on as a kid, and I was always so excited that like on the old Universal tour with the tram when I was a kid, you drive by and I'd always get excited when they go, and now if you look over to the left, you'll see 1313 Mockingbird Lane, and it was the Munsters house that they used in the thing, and I used to be so excited. So this, of course, was the theatrical version of the Munsters. It was actually a movie, and it says the laughs begin when Herman moves the family to the English estate he inherited. So they get this big windfall and they move in. I remember seeing it years and years ago, and I don't really think it's been readily available for some time, but this was of course a feature-length film. And and I see it's actually available for rental, but it was really funny because it took up the comedy. There's definitely some tongue-in-cheek comedy that you do on the trailer. Like there's a mention where he does a Car 54, where are you line, which is really funny with Fred Gwynne. There's also another Marilyn Munster, another actress. But yeah, it's really, really just a great, and even John Carradine's in this. So and Richard Dawson is in this. I forgot. So Family Feud fame, and of course The Running Man. So definitely this one I picked just because I just love the Munsters, and it's actually got a really good disc though. So it's got a new audio commentary with actor Butch Patrick, who we met. It was very awesome to talk to at New Jersey.
Yeah, he was really cool. And he had a Creature from the Black Lagoon shirt on, which was really.
He did, yes, and that's what Tim and him bonded.
Yeah.
And he's great at cons just in general. He always goes to these cons, and he's always super fun to talk to. I think that was like the second time I had met him at a con, and he was just each time he's just so willing to talk to the fans and just reminisce, and he's just a really good guy. So that'll be a great commentary to hear, and it's also with not just him, but it's musician filmmaker Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
so
that's
Butch Patrick
awesome.
And Rob Zombie doing a commentary on this, which is awesome. So it's got the bonus television film, which another one I remember, The Munsters Revenge, and this one's in HD. It's 33-1 ratio, but still, it's in high definition for something that old.
Yeah.
It's got to be really, really cool. It's got vintage cast radio interviews, which is another really cool thing, which I love when you get that, because it's something that we probably never heard. There's probably no way we listened to the radio enough to ever recall any of this stuff.
Oh, yeah,
back then,
yeah, for sure.
In fact, if the music stopped at that age for us, so did us paying attention to whatever they were saying. Regular radio spots, a theatrical trailer, and extensive still galleries for both films, behind-the-scene photos, movie stills, and posters. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's a really packed disc, but that commentary alone
that sounds amazing.
Is incredible,
yeah.
And you get a second film with it. So this is one I'm definitely going to add.
This is a show I'd love to introduce the kids to. Like, I think they would love it.
Oh, they would love it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Because my kids are not snobs about watching stuff that's in black and white or that's older. I mean, they'll watch anything. They don't have any, unlike me, when I was growing up, I would dare watch anything that was in black and white or old that I considered old. They don't have that negativity towards old stuff, so I think they would definitely like this one.
Yeah, no, and I think you can buy, there's a complete series that's not too expensive of the Munsters that you can pick up pretty affordably. You can probably have the whole series and have them watch it all. And, what was great about it, it was you literally take like, familiar looking monsters, but just put them in like a regular like suburban setting, and it's brilliant, and it's great it was so fun. I mean, and like, just, Eddie Munster had his things in school, he had his pet, and oh my God, how great was it every time the stairs opened up, and like, and like, it just had so many cool things in it, and it's.
And I didn't realize that they debuted the same week as the Addams Family. Did you realize that?
It's crazy to think of what two amazing shows like that.
Yeah, and there's always that kind of comparison between them because they were both very similar. And there's always people that either prefer the Addams Family. It's like I used to always, growing up, I used to prefer the Addams Family over the Munsters, but I actually liked both of them. I really liked both of them. But I don't think I could these days as an adult. I just appreciate both of them on the same level. Like I couldn't choose between the two because I think they're both fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it was funny, I was growing up the same thing. I loved them both, but I had the edge for me was the Munsters. So
yeah. All right,
that would actually be a great bonus episode sometime. Us to do like some reviews of like those classic shows.
Yeah, and I've still wanted to do like our review of like some anthology shows and stuff. So we'll have to think about that.
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun. All right, guys, so that wraps up March. And what I wanted to do, Brian, again, another little tweak to the formula. I wanted to just run through all the discs we talked about. So if you ever wanted to hear, oh, man, I can't remember what they were talking about for March 17th, but there's some movie I wanted. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of every title we talked about this month so you'll have it. So starting with March 3rd, we had Veronica, I Am Fear, and The Furies. Our pick of the week was The Furies. For March 10th, we had Bug from 1975, A Quiet Place Steelbook, Lose from 2018, and Seminoid from 1981, which was our pick of the week, and The Ascent from 2019. March 17th, How to Make a Monster from 1958, Cannibal Apocalypse from 1980, our pick of the week, Universal Horror Collection Volume 4, Black Christmas from 2019, and Candy Corn from 2019. For March 24th, we had The Grudge from 2020, April Fool's Day, our pick of the week from 1986, Beyond the Door from 1974, Frankenstein, The True Story from 1973, and Come to Daddy from 2019. And finally, March 31st, we had VFW, Extra 3, Watch the Skies, Bones, Deadline, Olivia from 1983, Monsters Go Home from 1966 was Brian's pick of the week, and the Ringu Collection was my pick of the week. And a pretty good month. There's some stuff in there I definitely want. I wouldn't say it's like a stellar month. There wasn't one that was packed full of a lot of collectible discs, but there was enough in there I think that was really interesting and definitely had some movies in there that I want to see.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, what I love about this Dismemberment is it sometimes pops a movie onto your radar, whether you decide to purchase it or not. Most likely, anything that you see there is going to be in a digital format. So if you're not a collector like me and Tim, you may just want to research it to find it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this month's Dismemberment. We will be back in April for April's Dismemberment. As always, open your wallets, collect Blu-rays, support physical media, and we'll see you back here next month.
And be kind to film historians.